Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
In a world where everyone says hello,
they dare to say,
g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day. Yes. Good day. Yeah.
G'day.
G'day. Yeah. G'day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good day.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Good day.
G'day. Hey. Yeah. G'day. Yeah. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah. G'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Welcome to It Gets Hot in Melbourne Week 2. This week, I had a cold shower.
And it's 37 degrees.
It's 37 degrees, and it's like it was like that at 11 o'clock. Guys, it's hot.
It's so fucking hot.
It's
not down here, though. Down here is quite nice.
No, in Tim
in
and
the
my
office.
recording dungeon, our pleasure room,
I came down here just to get away from the heat.
and the rest of the house.
Yeah.
Tim was like,
Oh,
see
yeah.
you idiots later.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's hot, and I'm sweaty, and I'm swampy, and I don't want to be here. Not here with you, just in general.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm over summer. I'm done with it. I'm finished. We can move on now.
Sydney was actually, like, this is hot, but Sydney was humid. I would get out of the shower, dry myself off, and I was immediately wet straight
Yeah,
after.
that's one of the things I definitely don't miss about Sydney. Anyway,
Sydney.
that leads us nowhere near our topic for today.
What a great segue. Tim, the heat can sometimes affect people's moods. It can even make them a bit mad.
Like a dog.
Like a mad dog. Which, funnily enough, is the name of a bushranger.
Yes, it's a bushranger episode. That
It
is the day.
That was a good segue. Episode 25, every 5 episodes. Bushranger. Tim, today we're talking about Mad Dog Dan Morgan, the mad dog himself.
Yes, mad dog. Let's say it a couple more times.
Mad as a sock full of dogs.
Yeah. How did all these dogs get in there? That is a big sock.
That's small dogs.
You know what they say? A big sock, lots
of
of
dogs. We did just coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Tim,
Yes.
I don't know anything about Mad Dog Morgan aside from his name being Mad Dog.
Well, here's the thing. His name isn't even Dan Morgan, so you know nothing about
Yeah,
him.
fuck, I know nothing.
Let me tell you about Mad Dog Dan Morgan.
Please.
He was actually born John Fuller
Oh.
in Appin, I think that's how you pronounce it, New South Wales, Australia, on the 30th of April, 1830, to George Fuller and Mary Owen. Now, Mary had a nickname of her own. We're going to get it out there nice and quick.
Yep, because
They called her... Remember, this was a different time. They called Mary Owen the Gypsy. Don't know why. It doesn't give a lot of context,
No.
but that's what they called her. Inappropriate now, but at the time, that was pretty common.
Yeah, inappropriate, but for terms of historical accuracy,
Yes.
we thought it was important to mention that was her name.
Like in Django Unchained when they use the N-word like 50 times. It's just historical accuracy. Don't get angry about
Yeah,
it.
it's crazy. They keep saying Neo.
Yeah.
So, John Fuller.
John Fuller. Yeah, so they're not even 100% sure that it was his name,
The man has no
100%,
name.
but they're pretty sure.
Who would make up the name John Fuller, though?
Yeah, it's a pretty boring
I
name.
need an alias.
Yeah, so anyway, he was born to those guys in 1830. He was actually adopted
Oh.
by another man with another nickname. They called him Jack the Welshman.
Wonder where he was from.
Probably
Probably
Spain.
Jack. Jack's
Yeah.
around Broome area, I think.
Yeah, yeah. In 1847, he left his foster parent. He grew up in Campbelltown, which
Oh, yeah?
will, if anyone knows anything about Campbelltown, his later actions will make a lot more sense now you've got that in your head.
Hold off. My mum and dad lived in Campbelltown for many a year. And,
Yeah, they weren't.
No, wait, they're bushrangers. No, yep.
Yes.
Oh, they robbed
I
people.
remember now. He found employment on a station on the Murrumbidgee, which is a river, as a stock rider.
Oh, so he wrote for the stock. Yeah.
Yeah. So every morning he'd go in, shout in a big room full of guys on the phone.
Bye, sell.
He'd ride these guys. No, he was a stock rider, which is often where these bushrangers start, it's a common recurring factor here. They often begin work in some kind of stock riding or cattle transportation situation. Usually, they're good at horse riding.
I was going to say, if there was a checklist for bushranger, it would be beard,
Yeah.
good with horses.
Yeah, great with horses. They're always great with horses. And they suspect from the late 1840s that he was involved in stealing stock, but his first known criminal record was the 10th of June 1854, when under the name John Smith, loved to use different names. We'll go through some of his
Who
other
doesn't?
names later. He pretended to be a jockey, sentenced to 12 years hard labour for highway robbery. Robbery.
Which is worse than robbery, you
Which
better
was
believe it.
the fashion at the time. Robbery at Castlemaine in Victoria.
Castlemaine.
So I'm not sure why he pretended to be a jockey so specifically, but that's what he did.
I'm just a jockey going for a ride to practice for the next race coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So he was 12 years there. In June 1860, he was released, though. He was on a prison ship called Success. Ooh,
that's a bit...
There's a joke there.
Yeah.
On a ticket to leave for good behaviour, but he failed to report to the police in the Ovens Police District.
Sounds hot.
On June 22nd, 1863, there was an item in the news. I'll read it out to you. On Friday afternoon, news came into Albury that 3 of the young Purtells and 2 young men named Pabst were stuck up by a couple of men answering the description of Morgan and his mates. The lads were proceeding from 10 Mile Creek to attend some races at Merritt's Cookardenia. There's a lot of weird words in here. They were robbed of 3 racehorses and 3 saddles and bridles, also of 15 shillings in cash. One of the horses has since been returned to 10 Mile Creek, minus the saddle and the bridle. So they gave the horse back, but they said, nah, we'll take this with us, just in case they need next run.
Putting the cart before the horse, you know?
August that year, he stole another horse belonging to the Evans family. Basically, he was stealing horses like nobody's business, which, once again, is a common factor. They often steal horses. Horses were so valuable back in these days.
Well, you know, horses at this time, they just roamed. They roamed the land. These stallions and mares and Shetlands and Lipizzaners.
Not so much Shetlands.
Lipizzaners, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, stealing horses, I guess it's the equivalent of stealing a car now. It's a thing to steal that's worth money. That people
transport, and also work. Back in these days, you needed it.
And, you know, now if you steal a car, you get more horse for your buck because you get the horsepower in it.
Yeah, twice as many horses.
And it's branded with a license plate.
Yes.
I've just done the complete analogy of horse to car.
Yes.
Thank you and good night.
Here is a list of the things that are different between a horse and a car.
One has hooves.
Nevertheless, all of this was going on. Wasn't picked up. They didn't get him. Right. He was doing all this bad shit. They couldn't arrest him. But he wasn't heard of again until 1863, when he came forth as a bushranger, using aliases such as, and these are some of the names that he liked to use, John Smith, Sydney Native, that's the name that he used, Dan the Breaker, Down the River Jack, Jack Morgan, and most famously, Dan Morgan.
Down the River Jack is by far my favourite.
Yeah, Why did he think that was a good name?
Where's that guy that always comes into the pub? Oh, you mean Down the River Jack? Yeah, he's just up the river. Oh, up the river?
Yeah,
no, he's down the river.
Down the River Jack.
What would your, bushranger time nickname be? I think mine would be Leon Bad Guts.
Bad Guts, yeah.
Bad Guts Leon.
It'd have to be something Bluey, because Bluey... We had this conversation. You didn't know this,
No, I didn't know this. Share it with the audience.
So this is something about old stock and sheep shearer
folk
culture back in the old days of Australia. Anyone that had red hair, the nickname was Bluey, and being obviously blue being the opposite to red in these racist people's eyes. So they called him Bluey because it was the farthest thing that they could think of away from red, and they thought that was funny. God bless them.
This could be Tim Bluey Green.
It could be.
Because Bluey Green.
Yeah. Or Aquamarine.
Yeah. I think, Bluey Green.
Green.
Bluey Green and Bad Guts.
It'd be Bluey Green, yeah.
Welcome to the Bushranger podcast of Bluey Green and Bad Guts. As if you wouldn't want to listen to that.
Yeah. That's the stuff. He, around this period of time, rarely operated in company, but on the 22nd of August 1863, he did have a companion who was known as German Bill. I suspect probably because he was German.
I thought he was going to say 'cause his first name was Bill.
We can't make assumptions.
Yeah. Sorry, William.
Yeah. The pair was surprised by a party of police. They entered a shootout. Mr. Bayliss, a police magistrate, at the time was assisting in the attacking party. Morgan shot the police magistrate. Not a great move to go into if you were going to try and plead innocence, but he did it anyway. But the police kept attacking. He thought by shooting the magistrate, obviously they were going to try and attend to him and leave them alone. Didn't work out. So what does Morgan do? He's a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy. This is the first time we ever see him do anything ridiculous. Turns on German Bill, shoots him. And then he fucks off out of there because the cops take German Bill because obviously he can't go anywhere because he's just been shot. I think he shot him in the... It doesn't say where, but I imagine...
Probably pretty close, first of all.
Yeah, I imagine that he didn't shoot him in a way that would have killed him. He probably shot him in the leg or something. But anyway, German Bill got caught. And Dan Morgan was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
He did like a one for you, one for me. He's like, well, I shot one of yours, so if I shoot one of mine, we're even, right?
Pretty much.
Like, I'm a free man.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous thing to do.
Once again, wasn't caught. Operated around Henty, Culcan, Morven, Garoggery. I think it's a weird saying. Weird way of saying Gregory. Tumbarumba. These are the areas he operated in.
You mean I get knocked down, I get up again.
Tumbarumba, yeah.
Tumbarumba.
On June 12th, 1864, called at the Round Hill Station a few kilometres from Morven, which is one of those places I mentioned just before.
You did.
Rounded up all the station hands and their wives, herded all of these captives into the carpenter's shop and ordered the manager, whose name was Sam Watson, to bring rum from the cellar.
Well,
he drank the rum before demanding fresh horses, which he said he would return next time he visited them. While mounting one of these horses, he discharged one of his pistols in error. He was drunk and he thought that somebody was firing at him.
What was that? What?
Yeah. So he decided he turned around and shot and wounded John Herriot, who was one of the captives in the leg. So this guy got drunk on these people's rum, stole their horses. Then as he's getting on the horse, the gun goes off in his pocket by accident. He thinks they're shooting at him, so he turns around and shoots this dude in the leg. He was crazy.
He is King Julian from Madagascar.
Yeah.
Like, shh, be quiet. Who was that? It was me.
Yeah.
Who shot at me?
Anyway, so that was the whole thing. He was there for a little bit longer, actually.
In Morven.
Yeah. He demanded the manager, Watson, Sam Watson, stand still that he could shoot him, but Watson's wife stood in front of him and pleaded with Morgan to spare her husband for the kids. And moved by her bravery, he was a good man.
Oh, yeah, great
Morgan
man.
ordered Watson to raise his hands and shot him through one hand, shattering it by the force of the blast. This guy was a psycho. This isn't even the end of the story.
I just don't even know how to compute that
Yeah,
one.
this isn't even at the end of the story. He realized that he'd made mistakes, so he ordered John McLean, a young station hand, to fetch a doctor who lived about 32 kilometres away at Walla Walla Station. However, after McLean rode away, Morgan began to get fearful that this guy was going to tell the police everything that had happened. He got on his horse, chased the guy, catching up to him, shot him in the back, and brought him back to the station and stayed until McLean died. And then Morgan left just before the police got there.
Now,
what a mess.
In my readings, part of the reason they think that he's completely mad is that when he would shoot someone, he would get very upset and start pleading with them to forgive him and stuff. Like, would someone hold them in his arms or that? And so I think the way, to even add more layers to that story, it's he shot that guy in the hand and then he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm fucking sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And then he was like, go get a doctor. And then he went away and he was like,
where the fuck is that guy going?
Who's shooting at me? So he shot that guy, but then again he got that guy and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't fucking mean to.
Yeah.
He's like a kid when you're having a fight with your sister and you hit them too hard.
Yeah.
You're like, don't tell mum.
So funny.
But just, go get a doctor so we can help this man. No, I'm going to shoot you. Let that man, now you're going to die and then he's going to die and I'll just be on my way.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the more ridiculous stories about our good friend Dan Morgan. He did also shoot other people. He shot a sergeant named David McGinnity? Yeah, David McGinnity on the 24th of July, 1864, because McGinnity and a trooper by the name Churchley were in the bush area between Tumbarumba and Tooma. He shot him for no apparent reason, really. They were coming up to him. I guess he was kind of scared. Churchley got the fuck out of there, and Sergeant David McGinnity actually died. Churchley was dismissed for cowardice, I probably would have got the fuck out of there as well. I mean, they weren't even trying to arrest Morgan, from what I can understand. They were literally just riding in his direction. He freaks out and shoots him in just below the heart.
Yeah, didn't you just say like, hello? And he was like, no.
Pretty much. Who's shooting at me?
I would have called him "Who Shot at Me, Morgan" for sure. Like that's his new nickname.
Yeah, but it was this particular attack that basically turned him from a kooky bushranger stealing horses, which most people at that particular time were kind of supportive of in a weird way.
Yeah,
which we've talked about before. But this turned him into a brutal murderer. Government put £1,000 charge on his head. And they still hold commemorative events there every now and then for the murder, because it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I find interesting about Mad Dog, because we usually talk about bushrangers that are kind of steal from the rich, give to the needy, Robin Hood-esque figures that are loved by the community. Mad Dog was just a bad guy.
He was just a bad person, yeah.
So, like, we have to get to bad guys at some point. And, like, we're not...
He was bad, but he was crazy as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he knew what was going on.
So, like, we probably should have at the beginning episode, like, we're not making fun of the fact that these people died and these people lost family members and that. But we have to poke fun because it's just, like...
It's so weird.
Anyway, so Mad Dog was batshit crazy. Batshit Morgan.
And the next one wasn't a particularly good story. He did kill another... police officer in 1864 September, Sergeant Thomas Smythe, which again has a memorial stone, and they still have like commemorative events every now and then for that as well.
He just was like he was just a cold-blooded killer essentially. Like he wasn't stealing a lot of the time. It was just like, don't look at me. Who shot at me?
Yeah.
Don't ride away from me when I'm talking to you.
He's like a crackhead. Like he's all over the place.
He's jumping around.
But he didn't live long. A lot of our bushrangers we've talked about so far have a reasonably long life or a reasonably long career.
Was it Moondine or was it Captain Moonlight? I think it was Moondine who lived till like 80 or something because he just buggered off to Tasmania and he died of old age. No, Morgan didn't make it. He was 34, I think. Jeez. Yeah, 34. He died on the 9th of April, 1865, and this is how it happened. On the 8th of April, he held up the McPherson family at the Peachelba station in Victoria. Alice Keenan, a nursemaid to the baby Christina, who was on the station, obviously a nursemaid being kind of like a servant who gave of her breast to the child so that the mother didn't. Yeah, basically. She was allowed to leave the room that they were all being held in to look after the baby. She managed to escape the station and told Mr. Rutherford, the co-owner of the property, about the hold-up. Next morning, as Morgan was trying to leave the property, surrounded by police, shot in the back just above the shoulder blade by John Windlaw, who actually wasn't a police officer. He was one of the station employees. Right.
Died of the wound that day, buried at the Wangaratta Cemetery. Now, that is where my story ends, because that's where he dies. But you actually know a brutal fact about what happened after he was killed.
I do. Right? Did you say Wangaratta?
Yeah, Wangaratta. Wangaratta. I think
remember what country we're in.
I can't pronounce Australian words today.
So I found on the Australian Geographic, turns out they do they have a post about bushrangers, which is how come I decided on Mad Dog, and they have blogs that they write about them too. And supposedly, when he was killed, the blog post says, unfortunately, there was not much remorse at the death of the bushranger. During the disposal of his body, he was decapitated in full view of the public, and the skin of his face, including his beard, was removed. Many people took locks of his hair as mementos before his head was sent to be studied at the University of Melbourne. The policeman at the scene stated that he did not object to these proceedings as he did not look upon Morgan as a human being.
Yeah. At this point, he killed 2 police officers.
Yeah.
He was not a widely respected or endearing person.
Not a good guy.
No.
Also, what's with the general public just standing around being like, cut his head off, do it.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
They didn't have TV back then. These sorts
Pull
of things
the skin off his face.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Take the beard.
Honestly, I would say, I'm going to make the call. They went too far with it. That's what I think.
They got too excited.
Yeah.
We'd be those guys in the crowd being like, hey, everyone, just
what if we didn't do this?
quick show of hands. This is fucked. Do you agree or disagree? I'm the odd one out. I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah.
Please don't cut my head off. I just love that his head, I do enjoy the fact that they took his head to go be studied because they're doing some phrenology stuff. They were like, he's got the head of a serial killer. It's big.
Yeah, 100%.
Look at the lobes.
Yeah.
Right. Mad Dog Morgan.
Crazy guy.
Did you see a picture of him?
Yeah. Well,
How's
there's
his
a couple
beard?
pictures. There's one. There's like a painting of him. Beard's pretty big in that. But then there's an actual photo of him, of his body after he'd been killed at the Peachel Bar station. Pretty big and bushy.
Oh,
like it's one of those. He had long hair and a beard, long beard situation, so it all kind of melded into like a lion's mane of crazy.
That probably puts him at the top of the scale.
I reckon he'd probably be at the top. Yeah.
So on a scale of whoever was at the bottom, I'm going to write it down sooner or later. On a scale of who is at the bottom to the top, it's a Mad Dog out of Mad Dog.
It's a Mad Dog out of Mad Dog. Yeah.
It's Dog Eat Mad Dog Mad World.
It's a sock full of Mad Dogs.
A mad sock. Tim, excellent. Speaking of beards. Mine looks shit today. I'm the first to admit it.
It does, yeah.
Do you know why it looks shit today?
No.
Because I haven't washed it with some Bush Rangers brew. There's no shampoo in it. There's no oil in it. There's no balm. Guys, ladies, everyone else.
Anyone that's got a beard.
Anyone that wants a beard. Anyone that knows someone with a beard. I wonder if you could... Actually, no, I was going to say, I wonder if you can use it on your pubes. Not going to recommend it. Not going to recommend it because
you probably could though.
No, because I remember very early on when I bought it because it's got like some of it has like eucalyptus.
Where's this story going?
Some of it, I shoved it. Some of it's got eucalyptus oil and stuff in it. So they were on the website Joel used to have, and I think even on the bottle at one time it was like, "Do not touch your eyes or other parts."
Yeah,
unless you want to be in pain.
Okay.
Right. So don't wash your pubes unless you want it. Bushrangers brew. We talked about it many times, and we love it, and we use it all the time, and I get compliments daily.
Every single day.
About my beard.
He has a book of them. He writes them down. It's quite obnoxious, actually.
Nice beard, dickhead. Get your beard out of my face, you wanker. Like, it's beautiful stuff.
It's all well and good to be proud of yourself, but honestly, the bookkeeping is a bit much for me.
I use... If you don't know what Bushrangers Brew is, you just go look at the website, www.bushrangersbrew.com. Joel does a great job. I use the Mystics scent. It's very sweet. Smells like boiled lollies, and I love it. What do you use, Tim?
Bunyip's Dreaming on the oil and the shampoo front. But I'm a Rum Rebellion in the balm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you get to the balm,
I like the cinnamons.
Yeah, the Rum Rebellion's very spicy. It's
nice. A spicy smell, yeah.
So go get yourself some Bushrangers Brew. Get it for someone for Valentine's Day, which is coming up in days. Actually, oh, shit. It's coming up.
How delightfully depressing.
Yeah. Type in, and when you get on there and you're depressed about the fact that you're not buying it for anyone aside from yourself, type in the code YEAHGDAY, YEAHGDAY, all capitals, no punctuation.
No punctuation.
You will get 25% off your order.
Oh, 25?
That's too much.
How can Joel afford that?
I think Joel's going out of business because it's just, the deal is too good, people.
Yeah, too good.
It's too good.
We should go into advertising. Fuck.
Yeah, we should. Go get it. I need to wash my beard today. Tim. What's that sound?
I don't know.
Something on the river bend. It's a Harold Holt watch. Tim.
Yeah.
I have in my hot little hand a phone. This phone, when I unlock it, it contains words.
It's in the dark, dark wood, in the dark, dark house, in the dark, dark basement.
In the dark, dark web. I have a electronic letter for us about, I'm assuming, Harold Holt.
I would hope so, because that's what the song was.
I was going to say, otherwise I wouldn't have heard the song. Here it goes. Dear Tim and Leon, my name is Frankie, and I'm from New York, New York.
Ooh.
I'm walking here.
We're all walking there. We're all walking.
I think he's got a couple of weird things that he says where I think he's just trying to prove he's from New York, which is kind of weird, because anyway.
It's like somebody who wrote the letter was trying to put as much in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm walking here.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
I was walking...
He was walking there?
He was walking. I was walking through Central Park the other day, and one of the gardeners caught my eye, which is hard because they blend in with the bushes.
Right.
The gardener looked so much like Harold Holt, I nearly dropped my slice of New York deep dish pizza.
I'm pretty sure deep dish is a Chicago thing, but that's fine.
Cheese pizza, it says here.
Yeah,
cheese
It doesn't
pizza.
say deep dish. You misread the English. He doesn't speak English well, forgive
No,
me.
it says deep dish, and then after it says cheese pizza. He's telling us what it is, but he's exclaiming it. A cheese pizza.
Wow.
When I looked up from catching it in a classic baseball style,
Right.
the man was gone.
Uh-huh.
Just thought I'd let you know. Good luck in Japan. Forget about it, Frankie.
Just forget about it, New York?
I don't know. I think
so.
It's probably some kind of... We're probably being slightly
gangster.
racist in a way.
Something gangstery, yeah.
He spelled forget about it like all one word and
forget
two
about
T's
it.
here. Forget about it. Frankie, first of all, good job walking, mate. Keep walking. Never stop.
Walk here, there, wherever you want,
Never turn back. And keep enjoying that New York deep dish. Classic New York deep dish pizza.
It's definitely a New York delicacy.
Some New York style chocolate cake. Interesting sighting. Harold's a bit of a botanist. He could be an arborer.
An arborist?
Arborist, even.
Yeah.
An arborer is when you go to Sydney Harbour and you go, arborer. I don't know.
It could be.
I wonder if he's like, maybe he didn't disappear. Maybe he just went full camo.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's had, army camo gear on for so long.
Well, we haven't seen him yet, so
yeah,
he must know something about hiding in the bushes.
One might think that, yes.
Good to see Harold again. Thanks, Frankie, for the well wishes for our Japan tour coming up anytime.
Yeah, whenever it's booked.
Anytime now. If anyone's listening that has the power to book us in Japan, anytime.
We're open, wide
Anywhere.
open. Some say too open. Open to the point where it's probably detrimental to our cause.
It is.
We should probably pretend to be a little bit more busy.
Yeah. Oh, not next Saturday. No, I got something on next Saturday. No, I can't.
I
can't
do
go,
actually have something on next Saturday. Yeah.
I don't. Tim, I was going to tell you something else, and now I don't remember what it was. But I was going to say we are about to embark on a very exciting journey. Upstairs. No, we're going to. After many years, you're right, fanning yourself out over there.
It's fucking hot.
It's getting steamy in here. After many years of talking about it, we're going to sit down and find out if we can commentate a movie.
Yeah.
We're going to watch Harry Potter 1, The Philosopher's Sorcerer's Stone.
Yep.
And his secrets. And talk about it.
We are going to do all of those things, yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like a snapshot of what happens nightly here. There's a lot of shit talk.
Oh, yeah. We're good at it. See, the thing is, we're good at it off the cuff.
Yeah.
Watching House Hunters International, we slay. But can we do it when we're sitting down ready for it? And now I'm going to set the scene for the listeners. So remember, you can get this from Patreon. I'll talk about Patreon in a second. Let's set the scene for you. We're downstairs in our recording studio, which you've all seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I are going to be sitting in close proximity.
Hopefully not too close. It's fucking hot.
Sitting on Tim's lap.
That. Yeah.
We're going to have the laptop, and we're just going to sit next to each other for 2.5 hours, talk about Harry Potter.
Yeah, watching an 18-year-old movie.
Now, if that's 18 years old.
17, maybe? So it's like 16 at least.
The movie?
Yeah, it was released in like 2001.
Oh my God, how old am I?
I think.
What year is it?
Around that time.
So we're going to watch it. I'm excited, but we're just putting the forewarning out there that if it's shit, we're not going to do it again.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out very quickly. We might try and release some snipshots, some snippets to excite you at different times of the lunar cycle. It's going to be good. So Patreon, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
www.patreon.com/YouGoodday.
Yes.
As everyone seems to say it in America.
Yes, good day.
You can find our Patreon from just $1 a day. You can sponsor a child in Australia.
Yeah.
But
us.
Yeah, we are the children. And it's $1 a month. From $1 a month, you get...
And we will use it to buy a goat.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
That's how it works.
You get awesome stuff. We actually have to sit down soon, and we're going to have to send out our first batch of postcards to some people.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people are about to get their first access to our bonus episode about hammerhead sharks.
Yes.
As I said in the last episode, now is the time, people. Join with us. We want you. Because it's about to be the new month, and so your card will get charged, and then you'll get access straight away. Because as I said, I don't think you get access until your card's charged.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
So it's going to be spicy in the best way possible. Tim, I'd also like to thank Teylor Smirl.
Yeah,
Smelly Tea.
Smell of the tea.
Taylor Moon for our excellent cover art.
Yes, and Curtis Fernance, that's Fern Tree Music on the Facebooks. Yes, he does music. He does the introduction, outroduction, Harold Holt watch, and all of our musical needs. And he could fulfill your musical requirements and some of your other requirements. I don't know what he's open to. Whatever
he meets
you want to do.
more than just my musical needs. He's a good friend. That's what he is.
He's a good person. Yes.
We're part of the Auscast Network. Great shows on there. We recommended some last week. This week there's The Bad Cast. Is This Movie For You? And One Newsman and a Web Guy.
Yes.
Those will be the ones for me this week. I think they're different from the ones from last week. Just to add on to my whispered recommendation last week of Andrew Vote Yes Pierce and Bernadette Pierce and AB Film Review, they got to hug... Well, Andrew got to hug Ben Elton.
I don't know who that is.
Sorry?
That silence wasn't edited in. That was actually there. Just
that was Leon pausing.
Yeah.
I have to educate Tim soon. Fine, doesn't matter. Don't listen to me. Good. And Bushrangers Brew, thanks, Joel. We smell great. Your stuff smells great. And 25% off is a ripper of a deal.
Not bad at all. Not
Why
bad.
Why did I say that like I was
all.
part of the B-52s?
I don't know.
We were at the beach. Right, Tim.
Yes?
I think that's everything. Is it?
I think we've covered every single thing we possibly could.
Good. Let's go melt and have more paddle pops and icy poles. And
yeah,
ice.
I bought the paddle pops. You'll get one when I offer one to you.
Yeah, Tim bought the paddle pops.
Fucking rude.
I'm probably going to go buy my own today.
Yeah,
brilliant. As always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, g'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone. Catch you on the flippity flop.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.